let's join Kate Hardcastle, the retail expert. Kate, it can't just be about skinny trousers. They can't just blame it on that. Where are the retailers, the big retailers, getting it so wrong?
Well, it's usually the weather that they blame, so it makes a nice change, really, for an analyst to be able to talk about skinny jeans instead. It's really a challenging time out there for retailers, but most hit is the middle market, and that's because we've got the chomping from the discounters and the value set at the bottom, the brands like Aldi in the grocery market and Primark in the clothing market and homewares. And then we've got the luxury and experiential brands doing very well at the top, thank you very much, and people feeling that they're very aspirational and they don't mind ducking between the discount and the luxury. And the middle market that's just been this huge juggernaut. It's really been the 9 till 5:30 shop openings, big premises, loved having the ability to be able to be relied on for products and sales, is now faced with online, faced with competition, faced with more of us buying experiences and more of us having the ability to search the price we want and get it. So it's huge challenging times, and these are brands that haven't turned the strategy around in time.
Do you know what? It terrifies me, actually. I really like shopping on the high street, and I like to go into shops, and I worry that in 10 years' time there actually won't be any shops to shop in. I mean, what does someone like M&S do? What do they do? How can they change things? How can they make themselves relevant?
So different retailers have different challenges, but a general serve all would be 2 ears, 1 mouth. You've got to start listening to the consumers and not making all the decisions in the boardroom thinking you know what customers want. And a lot of that comes from data overload. We've gone from not enough data to too much now, and you've got to be able to try and find which bits are relevant. If you are going to have online operations, they need to be slick, efficient, and if you're going to have in-store operations, brilliant customer service. You've got to have a currency of human being to human being. And I think less is more as well, that you can't be all of these things. We have got very general retailers that have been having their hands in all of the pies, and they're probably going to have to work out which bits of the market they can actually serve very well at. And I think you're probably starting to see that in M&S. They've had a very good Christmas for them on food. They've turned it around, and I think they've got to apply the same logic to getting that value back in the clothing too.
So someone like M&S and John Lewis, do they have to start appealing to a younger market as well? So, for example, my daughter's 22, and she said to me yesterday, I need to buy a cardigan. And I said, oh, well, you need to go to M&S for that. And she went, I was thinking Uniqlo. So how is it lodged in her brain that Uniqlo is a good place to buy a simple cardigan and not M&S? For example.
I love the fact that you were directing her and signposting her to M&S.
Well, that's what immediately popped into my head. Oh, cardigans, jumpers, go there. And it did not pop into her head at all.
Probably is exactly the clarity on what the problem is. I think she'll probably see it on Instagram, social media. She'll see celebrities wearing it. She'll know that she'll be able to get a decent price point. There's a lot there that will appeal. Whereas Marks and Spencer's, that cardigan that she's probably been described, she might see as being something for an older person, might not feel as comfortable shopping in that retailer, probably doesn't feel it's made for her. And
I don't think it occurred to her. I just don't think it occurred to her whatsoever.
Yeah, I think it's how to keep your existing customers, not offend them, feel that they're special, and appeal a smaller amount of the wide marketplace, understanding the amount of competition your daughter's got to choose from. It is tons out there. It's saturation. And when then you start adding in the figures on experience shopping, we're buying more experiences going out, theatre, travel, than we are stuff.
Where are we buying it, Kate? Who's getting it right? What retailers are doing a job that, is attracting us through the front door?
So if you were someone like toiletries, because Boots have had a really challenging time, someone like Lush would be, and everyone says, oh, I don't like bath bombs, I don't like bath soaps, but they've got an invigorating store. You know that they're coming around the corner. You can smell them out. They've got good ethics in terms of environment, and they're very noticeable on the high street. They're fun. You can go and have some enjoyment in there if that's your bag. So Boots are very staid, traditional. If it's clothing, Primark, you can go and get what you want, high fashion, and you can, unfortunately, it breeds a disposable fashion economy, but it's there, it's available, and it's not a price point you have to worry about. And I think, again, it's the experience economy. If people want to go and buy something really special, they expect to be surrounded by champagne bars, nice food, a good luxury service. So if the service isn't there as well, that's going to be hugely challenging.
I tell you what, if you've got a good food outlet, you can't really go wrong, can you? People do want to go and buy food on the high street. Itsu, Greg's,
that's
vegetarian,
why people go to garden centres, you know. People go to garden centres for a day out for food.
For a coffee.
It's very good.
Well, you do.
But I'll tell you something, ladies, and you'll see how pathetic I am. When it got to late in the day at Christmas, might have been Christmas Eve if I'm telling the truth, and I went out shopping for Mrs. Holmes locally, right?
At the garden centre?
No, not at the garden centre.
Well, you do have a garden centre.
I know, but it wasn't the garden centre that day. But I did go for lunch in the garden centre, yeah. But any shops that I went to, clothing shops and whatever, they took me in, they poured me champagne or Prosecco. They sat me down. I was there all day. I literally spent from 11 in the morning to 6 o'clock at night being entertained locally in high street shops, which were very, very nice. And they did, I don't want Ruth to hear this, but they did everything. They wrapped up everything. They did.
Well, they wanted your business. They wanted your money.
They treated me well. It was a personal experience, which obviously I wouldn't have got online.
Shop local.
Yeah, and that's what I found, Kate. It made me feel very good, and I thought they were very appreciative for anybody shopping local.
And that's what I was going to say to Jackie. Don't fear the death of the high street. You'll get a better high street because of this. And that doesn't mean that it isn't incredibly sad that we've seen these job losses, that these big businesses haven't been able to turn it round. But what the future is going to be better retail, more service-oriented retail, better products. And I think that's a bright future for everyone. And hopefully those high streets will be full of other things as well as retail, more residential, more clinics, doctors, services we need. I think it's positive. I just think we're in a really uncomfortable change period.
Well, here's to a Happy New Year for you and the high street and for all of us, Kate. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Always good talking to you, Kate. Thank you very much indeed.
She's so sensible, Kate, isn't she?
Well, she is.
She's just got common sense.
She's been there, done it, got the T-shirt, and Kate Hardcastle is a retail expert. Now,